Bagel bites!
And if my plan works, I'll control all the bagel bites in the world.
I don't know if this is right. I mean, yes, I like to have bagel bites. But hoarding, that's wrong. But should I blow the whistle on Dad by telling Mom, or should I be loyal to Dad, even though he is doing wrong?
Getting close to Monday, so I figured, well, I better get a little bit done on my Working in America lecture now. But it's about time for a break here anyway. See what we got. You know, the lecture's going pretty good. I think the students will think it's even more interesting if they're watching it on their computers. Because there's not a lot on the internet that's going to compete with my Working in America lecture. Oh, I got crumbs on the computer. Hate that. Oh yeah, that title looks good. I'm not exactly trying to wow them with bells and whistles, but damn, that does look good. You know, Immanuel Kant, that philosopher, has the idea that lying is always wrong. What he thinks is that when you lie, you use someone as a mere means to your own end. You use them. And so since lying to anyone, whatever the reason, is using someone to get what you want without regarding what they want, well then, that's morally wrong for Kant. Kant gives an interesting case. Suppose your friend Jane runs into your apartment, and then she hides behind your couch, and suddenly you hear a knock on the door, and it turns out it's an axe murderer. Should you lie to the axe murderer? Well, Kant actually says, can't touch this, that you shouldn't do it. He thinks it's morally wrong. Never use anyone as a mere means to your own end, but lying to the axe murderer uses the axe murderer as a mere means to save Kate's life. She's your friend. Conclusion, you should not lie to the axe murderer. So Kant thinks lying is always wrong. What is whistleblowing? It's the releasing of information to the public by an employee of an employer's wrongdoing. That's what it is. Some people think they're corrupt. Some people think they're good. Yeah, this will be a pretty good slide. Yeah, I liked it. Oh yeah, remember that example of the whistleblower who charged that Trump was making U.S. aid to the Ukraine contingent on the Ukraine ordering its judicial branch to investigate a company with connections to the Bidens. Well, you know what? Blah, 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 blah. He got impeached. He didn't get removed. Now we got Corona, so everybody's forgot. You know, with whistleblowing, there is the public who's affected by what the company's doing, the institution, the company, and the whistleblower, the person who has to decide, do I tell on my own company for the public good? It's a toughie. Karen Silkwood was a chemical technician who was getting exposed to radiation, and she thought her workplace was unsafe and that it was endangering the general public, so she acted as a whistleblower by testifying to the Atomic Energy Commission. But she got killed in a car. They don't know if she died by natural car wreck or if she was murdered. And I suggest you go to these and you find out more about it. There's also a movie called Silkwood that tells the story of how she seems like a hero because she, for the public good and for her own safety and the employee's safety, she put her job on the line. Of course, people were dying in that plant. Is it ever morally right not to whistleblow? Suppose you work for a business, you know they're doing something wrong or harmful, like dumping toxic waste into the river, and you have reason to believe the business doesn't want to take action to change. Is it not okay to whistleblow in that case, or is it ever okay not to whistleblow? Maybe Kant thinks it's always wrong to use someone as a mere means to your own end. Deception does that. So not whistleblowing deceives people, and so therefore you should always whistleblow. You should never be dishonest to people. So if I do not whistleblow, I'm lying. So Kant thinks honesty is a duty nearly all the time. You should always be honest. The honest thing to do is whistleblow, so you should whistleblow. If the bad action of the company involves deceiving others, then you as the company's employee should blow the whistle and tell the public the truth. But here's an objection. It seems too harsh in cases where the company's not causing significant harm. Think about this case. Suppose there's a beverage company, and the beverage company makes the Get Buff fruity water. Suppose that the company admits to you that Get Buff doesn't actually make people stronger. Kant's view is that you should expose the company publicly. But if you do this, you hurt your own company and ultimately hurt people because they stop drinking as much water, and it wasn't hurting them to believe that little falsehood. So, whose interests have greater priority? You have to do harm-benefit analysis. Think about how many people would be harmed. How severe would the harm be? It's a lot different dumping nuclear waste into the water supply than it is lying about a beverage. In the case of Karen Silkwood, many people would have been harmed very severely. They were getting cancer in that nuclear plant, and it would have killed them. It would have lasted them till they die, and very likely that the public would have been damaged by these unsafe conditions that would leak out nuclear stuff going around. Kant would think you need not consider whether whistleblowing would bring about better or worse consequences. Well, but you know what? That's hard to stomach. It does matter, we think, whether or not people will get hurt by the lie that the company is doing. If it's not serious, maybe you shouldn't whistleblow. But if it is serious, you should. Though, think about it. If you're considering whistleblowing, is it going to work? They're going to come after you. There'll be repercussions, all right. If they can get away with firing you, they will. Now, there's a law to protect you, but you're not going to win friends by whistleblowing. But if they're harming people financially, anyway, Whistleblower Protection Act is there from 1989 to say that they can't fire you for bringing forth a truth that they were trying to cover up. So it's a little bit of solace there, I guess, if you get into this rough situation. Think about loyalty. To whom do you have a duty? The company and those doing the bad action, or the people who might be harmed by the company's action? Well, I think it just depends on whether the harm is serious. If it's buying more of a ineffective water, thinking you're going to get strong, that's not as big a harm as getting cancer and so forth. All kinds of questions you can ask about it. Should we value whistleblowers if we're going to have a company that's good because you want to operate in the world of facts instead of cover up what's going wrong at your company? Remember in 2019, Iowa made it a crime for animal welfare activists, journalists, and others to go undercover and pretend to work at a meatpacking plant to expose, and livestock to expose what's going on there. Should it be like that, where to keep people from finding out what's going on? Is the ag-gag law good or bad? Should any employee be protected by whistleblowing legislation, or is it different if an employee gets the job in order to expose what they think is wrongdoing? You think about that. Wait a minute. I just realized something. Yesterday when I told Lucy not to tell Mom that I was going to order all those bagel bites, was I putting her in the position of a whistleblower? Was that unfair to her? Should she tell Mom that I'm doing this? Is the harm of buying up the last of the bagel bites from Amazon.com significant enough to harm others? Or is it a minor thing, like the case of the Buff Body fruit juice, that I should ignore, or that she wouldn't need to report? Gosh, this is a dilemma for me now. Lucy? Listen, I just wanted to tell you that it was wrong of me to try to hoard all those bagel bites. I'm really sorry I did that. I changed my mind. I thought about it more, and I thought, well, what if others want those? It's not right for me to get them all, even though I do love them. So, but anyway, I just wanted to let you know that I did the right thing. Love you.
Goodbye.
Well, I hope you're happy. We're not going to have any bagel bites now.
Next time, clear your browsing history.
Bagel bites, bagel bites. Every morning I eat you. Soft and white, taste just right. You
look happy to feed me.
Pizza on dough, a good source of protein. Bagel bites, bagel bites, tiny Austrian pizzas. Thanks.
Yeah.